Well, welcome and good, I guess it's good afternoon. Anyway, oh, I said it again, anyway. I wish I wouldn't do that. But I want you to see me put my bread from the bread mix that I've been using into the oven. You saw it when I first started rising it, and the first time I made it into a ball. Well, this time it's sort of a long oval, which is going to be trickier getting it into the oven. I sort of wish I hadn't done it that way. But I'm going to slash it first. You're going to see me do that. Oh, another thing before I do, I have learned, I don't have any cornmeal, but it's on parchment paper, and it would be better if it was cornmeal, but I do have oatmeal. Otherwise, it sticks to the parchment paper. So we're slashing it. Okay, I'm just going to slash it to once. I'm going to put some water on it. The first time I did it with water and egg yolk, but it works fine with just water. I think it does a little bit better with the egg yolk. I mean egg white, excuse me. It's egg white. You can use egg yolk too, but... Okay. Now, I have a mixture of sesame seeds and flax seeds that I'm putting on. It's heavy on the flax seed. That's probably what you'll see in the camera. But we're going to put it on there, sort of pat them in. And, okay, now the trick is to get it over in the oven. So I'm going to move the camera, and we're going to try for it. And I found out I also have to use my bench scrapers to do this. So, okay, I'm going to move the camera so you can see my oven, and we're going to get it in. Okay, let's see. We'll tip you down. I think you have a good shot. Maybe here. Okay, we're going to say this is it. And like I say, it's going to be very tricky getting it off this onto the baking stone. Okay. And the oven has been on 450 for the last half hour, preheating and getting the baking stone nice and warm. And I'm going to slide it out just a little bit and try to get it on there. Okay, and this is where the trick comes, is to getting it off the paper, and it's stuck. I didn't quite have enough oatmeal in this corner. And it's gonna, okay, and then we're gonna take it this way. Okay. It is off the paper, and it's coming down, and it's on the baking stone. Whoops. And that's going to go in. Now, I've got a pan underneath. You can use a broiler or some kind of a pan, and I'm going to dump about a nice full glass of water. It's going to steam like mad, and I'm going to close the oven as soon as possible. And there it goes. Now, in a half an hour, it should be done, and I'm going to show you the finished product. We've been eating another loaf of it, and maybe I'll even cut a slice for you. Well, you won't get to eat it. If I can get it out of here. Okay. I'm going to move the camera, but there's my loaf, and it's very, very moist. Nice, moist. And this was 2 days ago, I think I made this. Okay. And the first one didn't have as many holes in it. You can see the little holes in it. Well, this one is got the air holes. And remember, it's basically all whole wheat flour. So, ooh, I'm going to move you again, and you can see me slice it up. And then Tom gets to eat it. Now, wait just a minute. We'll take it back up. We'll move it back. Maybe it should be closer while I cut it. I think I will. I think I'll move you closer so you can really see the bread. You don't need to see me especially. Okay, the bread is right there, and there we go. And you can use an electric knife, but this is an old antique bread knife. Tom, how old do you think it is? Because it came from Tom's family. Can you remember it from his...
I'm thinking I was probably around 5 or 6 years old. My dad had a friend in the wholesale hardware business, and my mother had a screaming fit. She said she's sick and tired of these dull knives that don't cut anything. And so, at any rate...
That's what they got?
My dad talked to his friend and says, hey, I gotta have a knife that I can cut something with, you know, just...
But this is a bread knife, isn't it?
Well, he came in with a bread knife and something else from the hardware company. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, so
what it was.
It's in the at least coming up 80 years old pretty soon.
75 anyway.
Okay, so and it still works.
One thing for sure. They don't make them like they used to.
Now it isn't a really big loaf, but it's very, very moist, not dry at all, and has a good flavor. And the longer that I make it in these buckets without washing them, the more flavor it will have. It will finally have that sourdough flavor because it will change into that. So I'm going to move the camera just a bit back. There. And I'm going to tip it a little bit more, or maybe I'll just back it up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. Another thing that I want to say, because I make these videos ahead of time, so I think I've showed you the video of my pineapple sage and our new little hen, and I found out that she's an a standard Old English fowl from that breed, and that's one of the oldest breeds that we have. Julius Caesar, supposedly, is the one that really brought this particular breed to our attention, because he had them for fighting cocks, and they became so popular in Rome. And when the Romans went into Britain, they took the fowl with them, the cock and the hen, and then Britain really picked them up, and that's why they're called the Old English, or the Old English, the standard Old English. And so I think King Charles and King Henry VIII had a lot to do with them, and then when Queen Victoria came along, she prohibited fighting of the cocks, which I imagine is quite awful because they do fight to the death, or they will if they're not separated. And even though she prohibited it, it just sort of went underground, but it did lose popularity because of that. But as soon as her reign was over, which was quite a long reign, I believe, it came back again. And soldiers, sailors, everyone had them. I imagine those little game hens have traveled the world on those ships. And then they were brought to the Americas. Our early presidents had them. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. Abraham Lincoln had them, but he was also a what do they call it? A referee. He was a referee, and that's sort of how he got his name, Honest Abe, because he was so honest at doing that. And well, I probably got his name for being honest, but they liked him to be the referee. So that's a little bit about their history. And the hens go very broody, and they'll be foster mothers. I wonder, one time we had a hen, she sat and sat, and the eggs weren't really all that great, so we went to the hatchery, because there was only one or two that hatched out of it. We went to the hatchery, we bought several, I think we bought 10 or so, and we came back, and actually there were two mothers, and they sort of became the mothers of those chicks. We put them under their nests or their wings when they were on those eggs, and there they were. And they raised those hens, those little chicks like their own. Anyway, in a half an hour, my bread will come out, and we'll have warm bread, but I wanted you to see what it was like and how it went in the oven. So have a good day, and we'll visit again.